We're now going to install the course files, and there's a subtle difference between the Mac side and the PC side in this area, but once we get inside a single folder, it's identical. So on the PC side, XAMPP installs itself the default installation if you followed the same installation instructions as installing XAMPP within this course. It's on the C drive, and XAMPP gets installed in its own folder on C drive. If you're on the Mac side, MAMP gets installed inside your Applications folder by default, and that's where we placed it in the Installing MAMP on the Mac side movie. So if you haven't done both of those, make sure you go through either the XAMPP installation or the MAMP installation movie. So if I open up XAMPP or MAMP in the Applications folder, double-click that to open it, both server environments, XAMPP and MAMP, work the same from here on in. Once you find their folder, inside of that there's an htdocs folder, and that is where we want to place our course files. So what I'm going to do is I have my Unique Vacations course files. I'm simply going to drag it over here to copy it into the htdocs folder. This is where you put your individual websites that you want to view inside of XAMPP or MAMP. The folder is the same. It's the htdocs folder inside of either the XAMPP folder on the C drive or the MAMP folder on the Mac. We've now installed our website. Now inside this folder, you should see a bunch of files such as these, and those are the files we'll be working with throughout the course. We will also be creating some new files moving forward. Now the last piece we need to do is we need to install the database itself. So I can close up XAMPP, at least the XAMPP folder or the MAMP folder, and there is a file in your course files called uniquedb.sql, and that's what we need to pull into the MySQL database area. So to control that, I can open up the control panel, say yes. Now, should you get this error, I want to show you what this means. What we actually have is the control panel is also running in the background. So I'll say OK. And in my system, I have this running. I can see it down in the right-hand corner, close to the clock. So I can access it this way. So should you get that error when clicking the desktop, don't get concerned. It just means your control panel has already been activated on your system. So I'll go ahead and click Start for both of these. Now on the MAMP side, that Start button looks a little bit different, and this interface looks a little bit different. I cover that in the MAMP installation movie. So you want to start your web server, and I'm going to click to the right of MySQL as an admin button. I need to get to the administrative area for the database. So I'll click that, and here is my administrative area for our database. It's a GUI called phpMyAdmin, and you can see each one of these is an individual database. So once we create ours, it will be listed in the left-hand side. So I'm going to go out to the Create New Database section right here, and I'm going to create a new database called Unique. Once I plug that in there, that is going to be the name that will show up in the left-hand side once I've created this. Now we're going to click Create right here. Once I click this Create button, it's going to create a new database, but there will be no data inside of it. So I'll click Create. Notice it says no tables found in the database. This 0 means the number of tables. It simply created a blank database for us to work with. Now what I need to do is go out and pull in all the information inside this SQL file. So we'll do that next. I'm going to go over to Structure. Now, if I wanted to individually create these tables, I could do them one at a time in this manner. I actually have the entire database set up for you in this file. So all we need to do is import this file, and all of the tables and data get imported with it. We just needed to create the database itself manually. So I'm going to go out to Import, and what I do in this section is show it where this text file is located. So I'll click Browse. Wherever you have your course files and this file located, that's where you want to browse to at this point. I'm going to browse out to the desktop. And on the desktop, I have my unique_db.sql. Now this is a .sql file. It's a file that stores all of our database information. So we don't have to worry about what's actually inside of this. The file will take care of everything for you. So I will click Open right here. And all I need to do now is click the Go button down in the bottom right. Now you'll see when I have the unique database here, these are the individual tables within the database. If I click on a table, it shows me the information inside of the database. And the way you control what you're seeing is through all of these individual tabs. And we don't have to work too much inside this database. We're going to be pulling data out of this database, and we'll be creating a little admin area as well. So here is our database. It's all set up for us, and we're all set in regards to that. Now what we need to do is make Dreamweaver aware of all of this information, and we're set to go and develop our web pages. So it's as easy as that to create a database. I have the SQL file all set for you, so you just need to import it. So that's how you set up the database and install the website within your web server. I think you'll see this is a fairly simple process. It looks daunting when you open the interface, but once you walk through it a couple of times, it's really a very simple process. So let's get started creating web pages.